Lieutenant. Now, on the day in question, myself and Martin over here, we were running. And we were running downtown as was said. And so we were rushing out from fatigue duty from around the barracks, and we were going to head down to South Sally Port. When, unfortunately, we hit an obstacle in our way. And sirs, I noticed this far too late, and I actually was very agile enough to actually not hit Mr. Shantz here. And however, I was running so quickly, and he was so startled by these events, he actually fell over, and he fell over into a puddle. And sirs, it's not, it was funny, sirs. And so I said a funny joke to Martin over here, and we shared a laugh, but it was not at Mr. Shantz or at his expense or anything like that. It was just at the situational irony of the moment. We were just having a great old time and wanting to go and meet our ladies downtown. Now, of course, sirs, instead, I was taken into the prison cell, and now the ladies think that we are not interested in them, so we'd like to thank the court for that.
I would like to thank you personally for making me wear this ridiculous get-up, Private, for knocking me down into that puddle.
Mr. Shantz, please. The Private Hurley is on the stand now. Now, I actually have, the court has just a few questions for you, Private Hurley. What of Private Boyle's allegation that Mr. Shantz hit a tree branch and fell over for that reason?
Well, when we go running with me and Martin, Martin is kind of a slow runner. And so he is very overwhelmed with the task at hand. And so he sees things that aren't really there. And so he probably just thought that Mr. Shantz was a branch or something like that. Martin's a silly character here.
Well, thank you. Now, one final question. You said you did laugh, although you had that qualification. Now, do you feel any sort of remorse or regret that you may have offended Mr. Shantz?
Well, sirs, I would only feel remorse if I did something wrong. And I did not break any military decorum. And so if I had done it on purpose, I would feel remorse, but it was not on purpose, sirs.
Very well, you may be seated. Now, Captain, at this time, the defense would like to rest as well.
So at this point, the captain and myself would confer and try to decide what was to be done with Private Hurley here. Now, you have heard all of the testimony, so before we reveal the historic verdict, we'd like to find out what you folks think. So, by a show of... All right, there's a small handful of you. That's somewhat alarming, actually. Now, who on the other hand would agree with Private Hurley here that it was an accident and find him not guilty?
Not guilty.
Put your hand down, Private.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we cannot actually change history, so we're actually going to step back into the 1880s and reveal the historic verdict as it was handed down back at that time.
Court is now in session. All rise. All rise. Private, step forward at this position of attention for the verdict to be read. This court finds the accused, Private Dennis Hurley, guilty of the charge and single specification. Order! Order! I will have order in this courtroom. There's always more time for more court-martials. He is hereby sentenced to forfeit to the United States $5 of his monthly pay and to be confined at hard labor under the charge of the guard for 5 days. The Commandant has approved this sentence and orders it to be duly executed. Privates, and further, I hope you will not make such a mockery of this court. Court is adjourned.